Do you have a piano exam coming soon? And does this exam require you that you do a sight reading test? If so, then keep watching this video because I will tell you exactly what to do in the exam, how to prepare, what examiners are looking for, and resources you can use to prepare. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Manu from Piano Sight Reading, where I give sight reading tips to pianists. In today's video I will show you how to pass a sight reading test in your exam. So let me explain how it all works. So usually, and this is regarding AMEB exams, what you will do is play your pieces, your technical work, then you'll have an oral test, general knowledge, and at some point, I'm not quite sure of the order, but you will have the examiner come and give you a little excerpt to sight read. And generally, they give you 30 seconds to prepare. Now, those 30 seconds are very important. I'm going to explain exactly what to do in those 30 seconds. The very first thing to do is to look at all the information that you need to know. For example, look at the time signature. So that will tell you how to count. Look at the key signature and try to work out what the sharps or flats are. And if you can, try to work out the key as well and whether it's major or minor, because that will give you an idea of what to expect. Another thing is tempo marking. So you will have a word at the top saying something like allegro, andante, moderato. So make sure that you know what these terms mean so that you know how to play the piece. So it will give you an indication of how fast or slow you should play it. And also in later grades, the excerpt might also include words that describe the character of the piece. So that could be espressivo or dolce, things like that. To make it easier for you, I've made a PDF that has all the musical terms that are most likely to come up in the test. So I've included the tempo markings, the expressive markings, as well as the dynamics. The link for that is in the description. Another thing to watch out for is accidentals. Scan the music and see if there are any sharps or flats, or double sharps or double flats, or naturals. Try to take note of those and make sure that you know what keys they correspond to. So like if you have E sharp, just make sure you know that that refers to F. Also look at the dynamics, and if you have any crescendos or decrescendos, look at articulation, whether it's, legato, staccato, whether there are any accents. And lastly, look to see if there's anything unusual, anything you might have to work out. So it could be a strange rhythm or just a strange passage of notes. So look at that passage in detail just to work it out. What you can do to work out a rhythm is to tap the rhythm with both hands. So your right hand tapping the right hand rhythm and the left hand tapping the left hand rhythm. So you can do that lightly on your knees. And lastly, look at your hand position. So try to work out where you'll be starting. You may have fingering, in which case just use the fingering that they have. If not, try to work out where you need to put your hands. As a guide, the lowest notes of a passage will be with the thumb or the pinky, and the highest notes will be with your pinky or your thumb. And if you still have some time left, try to go through the entire piece and try to imagine what it sounds like. When the examiner says, okay, please start, try not to start immediately. Just take a bit of time, think of the rhythm of the first few bars in your mind, and try to establish a tempo. Now, regarding tempo, try to be as close to the tempo marking. So if it says allegro, you have to play fast, but it's better that you take it slower and play more notes accurately then try to play it fast and then play everything inaccurately. So just be careful with that. It's better that you play accurately than at the right speed. So once you've gone through the first few bars in your mind, just count yourself in and then start. And once you start, try to just keep going until the end. What you don't want to do is to go back and fix your mistakes. So whatever happens, try to keep the pulse going. It's much better that you keep going and have a fluent performance than getting all the right notes but where you stop and start all the time. Oh, and a little extra tip here is whenever you have a rest or long notes, really use those to look ahead. Try to look ahead at all times, but when you have a rest or a long note, that's really for you to look at the next part. So you might be wondering, okay, what are the examiners looking for? Well, they'll be looking for how accurate you play the notes and the rhythm, and how fluent you play all the way through. And of course you'll get extra mark if you can also incorporate all the other details such as dynamics, articulation, and so on. But the three most important things you want to get is the notes, the rhythm, and being fluent all the way through. Now, the music will usually be 1 or 2 grades below your level. So for example, here I've got the sample tests for sight reading for AMEB, and let me just go through the grades with you. So grade 1, you have preliminary, although sight reading is not required for preliminary, but they still include some practice excerpts for you to do. Grade 1 is hands separate, in that only one hand plays at one time, and there's no dynamics, no tempo marking. Grade 2 is similar to grade 1, but now you start having some dynamics and some articulation. Grade 3, again, you have a bit more details, so now you have tempo marking, and also the key signatures become harder. So for example, grade 3 you have up to 3 sharps or flats, and then grade 4 now you have up to 4 flats or sharps, and the rhythm is a bit more challenging, and you also have time signatures like 6/8. Okay, now grade 5 is, it's getting longer as well, and still up to, we have up to 5 flats here, so I guess 5 flats and 5 sharps, and you have 3/8 as well, so some more time signatures. Grade 6, again a bit harder, so I think you get the point. If we just look at grade 8, which is the top grade for sight reading, now you have time signatures such as 5/8, so that's a bit more challenging, and you can have up to 6 sharps or flats. And you also have excerpts that are contrapuntal, so that's similar to the music of Bach, so that can be quite challenging to sight read. So what I suggest is you get the book of the music examination board for your exam. So if you're doing AMEB, then get this book. So how would you prepare for the sight reading test? Sight reading is not something you normally want to be cramming at the last minute. So if you can, try to incorporate sight reading in your daily practice. Even if your exam is, 5 months from now, you still want to get the practice. So I would use sample tests, and for sample tests what you can do is set a timer, so set it to 30 seconds, and in that time do the things that I mentioned here. So look at all the important information, look at any hard passages, try to imagine how it sounds in your mind, and then try to play it all the way through after the 30 seconds. And after that, ask yourself how you went. Were the notes good? Was the rhythm good? Did you play all the dynamics? Did you play the articulation? So try to work out what was good and what could be improved, so that the next time you do another excerpt, you can try to do better. And something I recommend you do is to sight read several excerpts each time, rather than just sight reading one excerpt and trying to perfect it. Try to sight read, 5 short excerpts. You will get so much more practice out of that. And besides, sight reading is not about getting everything perfect. It's about trying to play something fluently all the way through. Besides the sample tests, I recommend you also get other books. So you could get repertoire books and sight reading books. I've made a list of all of these books in the description, because if you do what I suggest and you practice 5 excerpts a day, you're going to need a lot of material. You won't have enough with just this book, because in each grade you have 12-13 excerpts, so that's not going to last very long. And if you want more tip on how to practice, I've made a video on that, which I will put in the card here. Now, I hope I've covered everything. In case I haven't, you can leave your questions in the comments below, and I will try my best to answer them. So I wish you all the best in your sight reading test and in your exam. And please remember that sight reading is a good thing to practice all the time, regardless of whether you have a sight reading test or not. So I really hope that you start your sight reading practice and that you keep going even after your exam. If you found this video useful, then please like this video and share it with your fellow musicians, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Alright, I will see you in the next video. Happy sight reading! Oh, and good luck!